actually, it is Jesus talking, so he doesn't really need to be speaking in third person. It'd be like Jesus saying, they're saying all manner of evil against you for Jesus' sake. That sounds kind of weird. He is the Son of Man, so he's saying for the Son of Man's sake, for my sake. I think it actually fits better with mine. But we know it's Jesus speaking already. So having this extra, there's more information, and I don't want to leave out added information. Yeah, it's clear, and it's obvious. Son of Man, it's still obvious, but he's attributing it to another title of himself. Yeah, I'll keep the Son of Man. Or I could say, for the Son of Man's sake. No, that wouldn't work. Or maybe I could have, for my sake, the Son of Man. Would that work? For my sake, the Son of Man. For my sake, the Son of Man shall say all manner of evil against you falsely. For my sake, the Son of Man. Would that work? I'd have to leave off the apostrophe S and that last sake. I could probably mention it earlier as well, saying it's both there. I'd have it according to the order in Matthew instead of in Luke. Yeah, I'm actually leaning towards it, having both. For my sake, the Son of Man. If there was a comma, that would really work. Yeah, but there's no comma. It would feel weird. For my sake, the Son of Man, without the comma. No, there needs to be a comma. Or a semicolon. Or a colon. That would really work. But it's just not there. I don't want to start adding commas and semicolons where it's not here. I just want to have it a new order of the words mentioned so that it's all included. But in order to do that and still have it make sense, I might have to. You know what? I got it. I'm going to introduce a new color. Because if I'm going to add something, I'll have that really clear. Not just italics like when it was first added by the translators, but I'll have something else so that the comma that I really want to put in here, or the semicolon, actually no, a colon would fit well. It'll be clear that it's from me. I really want to put both. For is both. My is actually only from Matthew. And now sake is both. It's out of order according to Luke. But it's right there according to Matthew, for my sake. And now, I'll say this sake is not there. And the apostrophe S is removed. So if I'm going to add, it wouldn't be able to be any color I've used so far. It couldn't be a primary color. It couldn't be a secondary color. It can't be gray. It can't be black. It can't be white, because white is what I'm going to use for when all four are used together. Alright, well, I know it's going to be a colon for my sake, the Son of Man. Or maybe it should be a semicolon. I really want to get this right, because I'm going to mention this to people. I want to make sure it's the right one. Maybe it should be a semicolon. For my sake. For my sake. The Son of Man. No, that's a colon. A colon would fit. And it needs to be a colon. For my sake. Who? Specifically that. Like cause and effect. It is setting it up and then the answer. So colon fits. I was thinking of putting it bold, but that would bring way too much attention to what I'm adding, and I don't want to put attention to what I'm doing. I want the attention to be on the story, on the event, on the words of Jesus, but I don't know how else to identify this specifically as something different than what else is being included. And I don't think I want it to stand out when there's no color, when it's just all printed. And I can't put a colon in italics. Oh, I could. I could put the colon in italics. I wonder if that's what I'm going to have to do. I think I'm going to have to do that. Just leave it the top dot a little farther away. Oh, man. Alright, I'm going to leave it like that for now. The color, however, still, it has to be a different color. It's not there in Matthew. It can't be red, it can't be yellow, it can't be blue, it can't be black. It can't be purple, green, orange, dark, any color. I think I'll leave it white. Yeah, I think that'll be okay if I leave it white, because that should be clear. I'm only grabbing these two accounts from Matthew and Luke. White means from all four. White, I'm not saying, I'm just saying there's no color, because I'm not specifying from where. It's just, there's no specification, which means I'm just leaving it as it is, as white. So it should be clear now that this is different. It's not being taken from Matthew or Luke. It's just there. Again, like I said that last time, where I changed the period to a comma, I think I'm gonna find where that was and put that in white as well. I wonder, can you put a comma in italics? Would that show? I remember it was when John the Baptist's disciples were informing him. Yeah, were informing him of what was happening. Yeah, that's what it was. So that was a period, but I changed it to a comma to make it fit. So, italics. Oh, it is a little slanted. It's a little bit more slanted now. I'm actually going to add a note on here to say that I, the combiner, the whatever you want to call me, the editor of this work, changed that period to a comma. And now, okay, where was I? Add this note in here. This is for context and inclusion, because I want information to be there. The information, that title that Jesus is attributing to himself is here in Luke. It's not in Matthew, but I want to have that there, and I also want to keep what's being said, my sake, keep that clear interpretation from what's being said in Matthew there as well. So only after I completed vlog 91 did I realize I had put such an emphasis on not changing words at all. And if it comes to it, I would rather remove a word instead of change the tense of a word, like persecuted, by taking off the D in order to make the grammar acceptable. Which reminded me that just earlier I had this issue between my sake and the Son of Man's sake. Matthew says, for my sake. And I combined that with Luke to say, for my sake, the Son of Man. But Luke actually says, for the Son of Man's sake. And I dropped off the apostrophe S in order to make it fit grammatically. Now, if it's such a big deal that I take off a letter, if that really changes everything, then I would rather just change this sentence to something more simple, so that I don't have to modify the word with the apostrophe S missing. Other versions of the Bible have it so that it's for the sake of the Son of Man, so they don't have that apostrophe S there. But if I'm going to look at other versions in order to take their method of translation instead of the King James Version easy read, then I am pretty much making my own translation. I'm picking a translation that I like. So I still have to stick with this version. So between my sake or the Son of Man's sake, the Son of Man does have more words, so usually I would go with that. However, in this situation, it's between Matthew and Luke for the Sermon on the Mount and the Sermon on the Plain. And I don't think Luke was there. Matthew was there. There was a different situation where I took Matthew's account of Jesus' speech instead of Luke's, and I said I was going to do that as often as I could. And on top of that, it might be more easy to understand that Jesus is talking about himself when he says my sake than the Son of Man's sake. But I looked up other verses, and there is at least one situation where Jesus refers to himself as the Son of Man. Matthew 9:6. The Son of Man has power on earth to forgive sins. So he said to the sick of the palsy, get up. Because there is at least one situation where he refers to himself as the Son of Man, it should be clear enough we know who the Son of Man is. Pretty much just so that I can honestly say I haven't changed any words. Even man's with the apostrophe S, and I take off that apostrophe S, I'll leave it as the Son of Man's sake, instead of combining it with Matthew. My sake, the Son of Man.